Hello traders, let us take a look at what we are expecting for tomorrow. This is again the monthly chart, and on the monthly chart we are still at the same place. There is not much of a change here. We just need to remember these lines, which is the July midpoint, this is the June close, this is the June midpoint. Along with that, we will keep in mind this line 55.52, which is the trend line that we have up here. And at the bottom, the trend line is at 5333.5, which is pretty far away. So apart from keeping these areas in mind, there is nothing much that we are deriving from this particular chart at this point of time, especially because of the fact that we are in a crazy uptrend. And this may actually turn into a pullback rather than into a reversal, right? And we can have a couple of more months moving upside. Looking at the weekly chart, we see that we had 2 weeks down. This is the third week that is running. We already got rejected from the top here, which is the weekly trend line. And we need to remember the open of the week and the close of the last week, along with that, the low of this week being at the 5481.25 area. Now, this is also the midpoint of the trading range that we are in at this point. And we will have to see that if it breaks that down, we may actually come down to the support of this trend line at the 5460 area. But before we come there, there will be a lot of other support areas on the lower time frames, and we will take a look at them as we keep moving. If you also see, this 3-4 area is also the 50% of this weekly bar where we went and we got rejected today. So we will have to see again tomorrow if we are breaking down this 80 and trying to get to the bottom. But as of now, even on the weekly chart, if you see that we are in a trading range between the 80 area and the 3436 area here. One more observation on the weekly chart is that this this area between 4.2 and 5.4 may actually act as a resistance. So even if we go up there, that is an area that I think may be tested sometime this week. But be careful when you come to this 5.4 or the 5.2 area, we may get rejection from there again. However, if we can keep pushing up from here, we can get to the 556465 area and then maybe to the 5594 area right here if we can get over this double top area, which is at 5585 to 5589. So these are the different areas that we will keep in mind with respect to the weekly chart when we are trading tomorrow. Now, coming to the daily chart, we see that we had 2 days of up move, right? There can be another day of up move, and we have to remember that day after tomorrow is FOMC at 2 o'clock. And at that point of time, we may actually shoot out and see if we can reach the top here. However, if you look here again, this is the area at 5523, which will be the top of the trend line tomorrow. That is also near the 5 EMA on the daily chart. So that may be one point of rejection. If we can get through that at this point of time, get into the upper channel, it may try and come to the 5571 area, provided we get over the 5542 area here. And as we were talking about it, this 5542 to 5554 area is a very good resistance at this point here. And if we get above this 5554 area, we can actually come and see 5558. Above that, we will have the 557172 area, and then finally to the 5584 area. We also need to remember that 5551 is the daily EMA that we have on the chart at this point of time. On the downside, if we can break down this low, which is the 5480 area, then we can actually come down to 5465. Further down, we will see somewhere around the 5454 to the 5446 area, and then we can see the low of this last Thursday as well, which is between 41 and 33. And further down, we can get into the supports of the 5427 and then to 5409, 5396, 5387, and finally we can come down to the 5364, and that will close the complete gap with the body. Now, whether it closes the gap with the body or not, that is something that we will have to see. On the downside, again, this 5467 on the 65 area, something close to this is the middle of this particular channel that we have. If we get below this midpoint of the channel and we are holding that, the bottom will be around 5416 area. So that is where the price may also come down if it wants to. But first of all, on the daily chart also, we need a breakdown from the 5480 area. Maybe when it comes down to 5477, you can be sure that it is going to come down, and you can short it, the first target being the 65, then the 54, and then the subsequent supports that we have down here. Along with that, also remember the high and the low of the day and the midpoint of today. So those are also the areas that we will have marked on the chart. The high of the day is at the 3-4 area, the low of the day is at the 8-0 area, and the midpoint will be somewhere between 5507. So 5507 to 05, that will be the midpoint of today. Seeing the 4-hour chart, we had this wedge in the morning. This is not drawn correctly. Yeah. So we had this wedge in the morning, and then if you see, we had 2 legs down on the 4-hour chart. We did not break this low again, and we created an inside bar here, and we are currently trying to get above that inside bar. And then if we can get above the 55.9 to 11 area, there is a good chance that we will come back up to 55.15, 55.17 to 21. And then we can actually go up to the 55.26 level. We can actually try to reach at least this double top at the 55.25 area. If we get above this, again, 28 to 34, I will say is the whole resistance area at this point. However, if we can get above 34 at any point of time and we can hold that area, there is a possibility that we will see the 5564 area as a measured move of this leg moving up. And if you want to be a little more conservative, then look for the 5554 area. We know that is a very good area of resistance, and we can see that on the 4-hour chart as well. However, prior to that, we will have this area as well as a area of resistance, which is between 4.2 and 4.6 on the 4-hour chart. If we can break above this, the next level of resistance you will find at 5563 to 65 area, above which we will get to this 4-hour double top. However, if we come above this 5554 and hold it, there is a high probability that we will come and test this 5572.25 level, which is the 4-hour double top here. And if we can get above it, then maybe we will come to the 5585 to the 5593 area somewhere here and close the gap to the upside. If we try to see on the downside of the 4-hour chart, if we can get down below this 95 level again, we can come and see the bottom of today, which is again the 8081 area. If we can break that down, our first level of support will be in the 7473 area. Again, I will put a line there for the time being. And then we can come and see this trend line somewhere. See, if this is the trend line that we started from the top. And if you see that we have bounced off of it, and if we can break these areas down, then maybe we can come and test this trend line at some point. We do not know at what point it will be testing that, so we will have to keep an eye on this. So this is from where I started drawing the trend line, and this is on the ETA chart. Along with that, there is another trend line right here, which was a resistance trend line, and we broke through it. However, if we come down, we break this down, we may see somewhere below this. And at this point of time, we will keep an eye on this particular trend line as well and see if the price wants to come down there. Along with that, I would also keep the structure in place, which is this channel that we have on the 4-hour. It's a downward channel. Once we get above this particular wedge line, if we can, then we will try and then we will see if it's going up to the 5550, 5544 area, and then if we go above the trend line and then move back again, then maybe we will be coming down to the lower levels here. And the lower levels being again 5533 to 336 area, and then the major level will be around 5526. If we come back there, break it down, I will wait for 5518 to 20 area to break again, because that will become support at this point if we move above it. And if we move back down and if we move back down below it, we can again come back to 5505 area, the 5499 area, and then subsequently we can move down onto this midpoint of the channel, and then subsequently all the levels that we have down here. On the hourly chart, that first draws my attention is the 2 lower lows that we have. So it is highly possible that we can have a third leg down. We will have to see if this leg is breaking down from this 5480 line, and then we will see if we can move down to the bottom. A very strong support can be found in this area. I will mark this as a buy zone, and this is the 7473 area. If we can break down from the 80, this will be the first support. If we break this down, we come to this 6362 line. And then if we break, this is the balance area that we have on the 1 hour chart. If we keep on coming below that, then maybe we will be testing the lows of this. If you see, there is a micro gap that is present on the 1 hour ETA chart right here between 4.6 and 4.4, so that may be a very good profit taking area. Otherwise, if we are breaking this down, we have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches. We already have the wedge here, but we are in a trading range, so it is highly possible that we come down to the bottom of this. If we break these lows down at the 5433 level, we will come to this 18 to 20 level again. Keep a watch on the midpoint of the line and the spillover of the channel lines, and then we will see where the price can come down to the bottom. On the upside, if you see, this was the first leg down, this was the second leg down, and this is the third leg down. This may be the end of this downward move. We will have to see that tomorrow morning where we stand, but based on whatever we have here, we did have 3 legs down on the 1 hour chart. Even here we do have this kind of a wedge created. Even here we have this kind of a wedge created. This may form an inside bar, and if we see here, the bears are already trapped here, so if it's a strong inside bar, then we can start moving up again. On the 1 hour chart, again, this 5525 line will become a very good area of resistance as we had today. I will keep that on my chart. So if we go above this 5525 line, hit this 5534 area again, which is the top of the wedge, and then if we start coming down and come below 5525 again, that will be a very good short, and it may come down to 5515, then maybe to 5509, and subsequently to the bottom of the trading range again to the 548988.75 area. On the downside, I will keep this line as well, which is the 5482. There has been a double bottom there, and I will mark it as the hourly double bottom. We tried to break it down today but failed, and immediately we went back up and went all the way up to the trading range around 40 points. So we will have to see tomorrow morning that if it's breaking down, then maybe we will come back to this 7.3 area first, and then we will see the subsequent levels to the downside. Looking at the RTA chart right now, we are in a trading range where the top is around the 3.4 area and the bottom is around the 8.2 area. So there are 2 trading ranges right here at this point. If I try to draw a fib right here, so these are the 2 trading ranges. If we break down the low of today, then we can come down to this 5476 as we looked at the 1 hour chart, failing which this 5470 will also act as an area of support, and I will keep that line here at this point. So if this 70 breaks down, we can come down to the 64 area, failing which we will keep on continuing to move down maybe to the 45 area. We have a micro gap here, we have another micro gap present here, so these may be the areas that it wants to test. However, if we fall below these micro gaps and close somewhere here, come down below the 5433, we will continue to move. If you remember, 5426.25 is already a target on the weekly chart that we had, and we did not get that, so we may bounce from there as well. If we start bouncing from here and get above this 5450 line, maybe there is a very big chance that we will reach this 70 to 75 line once again. However, if the lows are taken out and we get below 26.5, somewhere between 14 to 10 to 5399 can be easily tested, because if this breaks down now, it will actually try to do a 1:1 of the whole TR to the downside, and that can actually bring us to the 5334 area. I do not think this will be something that will be happening tomorrow. This can actually happen after the FOMC, depending on how the FOMC results are. But as of now, we are in this tiered trading range. This is the first tier and this is the second tier at the bottom. If we break this down, we come to the bottom of this. I will again keep a fib between 8.3 and the 31.75 level, just to make sure that I know what the 50% of that is. And that is the 57.5 area right now, the 57.60 area. If we break that down, we will come to the bottom of this TR. So that is all I have right now. Based on all these analysis, we will come back again tomorrow morning and we will meet at 8:45 a.m. EST to go over the pre-market call and find out what are the different things that we did on the ETA chart. And based on that, we will make a plan to trade for the rest of the day. If you want to join the pre-market call, you will find the link to the Google Meet in the description below. As always, if you're liking these videos, please like, share and comment on the video, subscribe to the channel and click on the notification icon. Also in the description, you will find the link to our free Discord server as well as the Facebook page. You will also find the link to all these charts that we have been looking at, and I will see you guys again tomorrow morning. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.